Hello guys and welcome to Aurora 4X. So, it's about, well, you can see the time down here I imagine. So it's a little bit later on at night. I've kind of fixed the issue with the microphone. It's not perfect, but it should hopefully hold for a while. So I thought, I mean, I felt bad that I didn't put any episodes out today. It becomes something of a really horrible addiction, hobby, whatever you want to call it. So yes, I thought I'd like record at least something that you guys could see, because I honestly felt like I let you guys down. So, yeah. I apologize if the music a little bit quiet, I'll just turn it up a little bit more. So, yes. You won't know about this, but basically I was talking before well, at the end of the episodes I recorded, before it turned out they don't work, but I was going to make some more sensors. So we're going to go with a small sensor, and we're going to have it detect from about 250, which is about the smallest you're probably going to get. So we can see here, it detects up to 1,000,000 away, which is fine. This is basically a short range, well, super short range thing. It helps really with missiles and that sort of thing. Let's call it the Alexander Baker Engineering. Size 1. There we go. And then we're going to make a medium. So we'll go for 10 gives us about 13 million range. What is it that I'm using on the Marathon again? Let's go and have a look. I'm going to overhaul the Marathon in the future with new sensors and etc. Mostly because I don't really need 3.42 years. It's nice to have, but it's probably not needed. That and the range, like 890,000 litres is okay. I mean, well, it's good, don't get me wrong, but is it particularly needed? When I could have ships go through and carry fuel later on? Who particularly knows? Right, so we have about 44.7 million kilometres active search sensors. So what we're going to do is we're going to design something that's about 20 million, and then we can have short, medium, and then long-range sensors, or relatively long-range. So 10 brings us up to 60 million kilometers, which is not particularly what I want. So I might have this one to detect for about 250 or something like that. Okay. It's going to be difficult to try and fit these things on due to their weight. So it remains seen as to whether I should actually have one of these on, but I suppose it doesn't hurt. I mean, we could have a size 1, a size 5, and then the size... I think I want to use it, it's probably a size 20 or something like that. At least that gives us some extra sensor relay, just sensor information, which is always really good. So we'll use this then. The Brown Waters tech system, that sounds really horrible actually. The Holloway Electronics... size 10. So that acts as our mid sensor. Right, so we're researching the boat bay, so I'm going to have that carry on. Industry, we are working, or we will be working on the naval shipyard. So I'm going to modify that to build 2 of them, because I would like to have some more shipyards. And we're going to go ahead and go 30 days. Now, I did send the Washington carrying the geological crew back to Earth. So I think what we're going to do is have the Proxima. I think I'm going to take the Proxima and the Washington along with the geological team to Ross 128, and then we can have a look around. Oh right, the geological team is still on Eris actually. Okay. So what we'll do then is we'll have the Washington pick them up. So go to the exploration. And we'll take a look at Eris. So we're going to pick up the team from Eris. And we're going to head back to Earth. Right, they should do this first, I hope. So then move to Earth. Refuel from Earth. And then stay in orbit. Okay. Whoops. So we have the Proxima Centauri jump point over here. The Proxima is over here still scanning some of these jump points. So I think what I'll do then is have the Berlin head back to Seoul. So I'm going to cancel these orders. There we go. We're going to go back to the Seoul transport. The Seoul jump point, sorry. And we're going to go back there. Now what we can do then is take some ships with us. So we only have the Washington at the moment. We could take the Proxima into here, but that can travel at its own time, as it has a jump engine. But at least then we could have the Washington and the Berlin scanning these systems, and hopefully be able to discover more minerals. As so far, we only have mineral deposits on Ross 128A1, which will be the site of a human colony in the future. Now, we could set up about 2 human colonies here for relatively easy. There's even large moons that we could colonize. Some small terrestrials. Which is interesting, a small terrestrial moon. I said maroon. Now, this is a very interesting world. It has a atmosphere as well. We do have quite a few interesting worlds in this system, but the 2 Earth-likes are the most interesting of all of them. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Just had to make sure the music wasn't too loud. As, unfortunately I don't live alone, so that's kind of the issue. Right then, yeah, so we were talking about the Berlin. So we've issued orders to the Berlin to travel back to Earth, or the Sol system. Actually, I should put in orders... yeah, I'm going to put in orders for him to travel back to Earth as well, and then he can refuel. But at least we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone, so let's see, Washington's group, Berlin... transit to jump point, then refuel from the colony. Okay, and with that we should be good. Now, I might think about constructing some jump ships, but we'll see what we find first. I'd love to be able to move into another system and hopefully find another uninhabited system like the Ross system. Well, I say uninhabited, it could turn out to be inhabited. It's just so far so good, really. Okay. Now we do have 5 academies now, which is really good. We're going to gain 25 officers per year, which is really nice, actually. Okay. Geology. I'd love to be able to sort by military, civilian, scientists, you know what I mean? That'd be really nice. Okay, so we are still working on composite armor. The reason and the rationale for this was basically we could have composite armor for our escort ships, and therefore they could afford to have less armor layers because their armor will be overall better. And that'll allow us to save some weight overall, allowing us to mount better systems. So that's quite nice. We'll have to research our new sensors in time. I think each ship should, well, will have a few sensors. I mean, the issue is with only having the jump ship with sensors is the fact that it is basically the brain of the squadron, and without it, it's going to be a problem, because if it dies, then the other ships in the squadron don't have the same sensors, and yeah, they might get picked apart. And it also allows me to give them independent missions, which I really like the idea of. Okay, so we completed research into the boat bay. So we should be able to start researching, if I can find it. There we go, hangar deck. Allows fighters or ships of up to 1,000 tons to dock with the mothership, or within the mothership, which is something I really, really like. But what we're going to do is we're going to research those sensors first. Right, so we're going to queue them up. Where are they? Active grav sensor. Right. So we have the size 10. We're going to add that over here. Queue it up. Why am I queuing it, actually? Right, create the project. Now we can queue up the next one. So we're going to select Jennifer Hamilton again. Where is it? The size 1. There we go. At least they're really cheap, quick text. Well, that one is not so much. Wait, I'm researching the wrong project. That would explain a lot of things. Okay. Oh, right, that would make a lot of sense. Right, so we have the size 1. Where's the size 10? I must be missing it. There we go. Right, so I'll put the size 10 in, and then we'll queue up the size 1. Fantastic. I'd love to research some of these other things, but all in good time. All in good time. Right, so the Berlin is back at Earth. The Washington is on its way back to Earth. It's amazing to think that this ship has only travelled this distance while the Berlin has travelled from another star system. Let's take a look at Eris again. Now, Eris is a very interesting moon. Well, it's a dwarf planet, actually. So we'll go back over here. We're going to hide these asteroids, show the moons if they had minerals. And we'll head back over here and find Eris. Now, Eris is a dwarf planet. It has a good amount of uranium, has a good amount of neutronium, carbonite, vendorite. Now, vendorite's quite rare, and corundium, which is fairly rare as well. I've not seen that much of it, and they are fairly easily accessible. So I think what we're going to do is queue up some automated miners, actually, on Earth. Probably a mass driver first, so we're going to queue up a mass driver, and then we're going to queue up 100 automated miners. And what we can do then is basically set up another mining colony on Eris, and send all of those sweet, sweet, juicy resources back to Earth. Which will be fan-dabby-dozy. Right, the naval shipyards. Have we gained... Oh, right, pause, that would make a lot of sense. I'm going to modify it to 2. 2. I want 2 naval shipyards, or 2 extra ones. It'll give us some leeway in the future. Right, shipyards. We are still building the Marathon. I mean, it's not fantastic, but it should at least give us something to work with and work from. We could also use it as something as a... I don't know, like a gate opener, a gatekeeper. Mostly because it can stay on the jump point and open it at will and take other ships with it. Okay. Oh no! Chancellor Karl has retired at the age of 67. Huh. Well, Karl, you had a good run, and you survived. We have 2 inactive labs. Where do these come from? Ah, right, I see. Well, we could have them on the other project, so we'll cancel that. Go to this. Sensors and fire control. It's a very easy project anyway, so it'll not take much. Put 2 labs on it, yeah, not take long at all. Okay, well, we're going to have somebody replace Karl. Well then. Actually, we'll go over to our commanders. Whoops. I should really have my people auto-assigned, so I might turn on that option in a few moments. So we'll go to geology. We are selected Earth. So let's see, geology. 25% chance is the best we're going to get. Now, I think the rest of the team is still probably in orbit. That would make a lot of sense as well, because I'm not seeing them on Earth. So we'll select the... Washington. Oh, they're not even back, right. Yeah, okay, never mind. So, Karl's on his way home to spend the rest of his retirement years on Earth. He's done a lot, though. He's been to a lot of places. He's seen a lot of shit. But yeah, he's been a very, very valuable asset to humanity. Right, I'm hoping the Proxima will find another jump point. Mostly because I want to find worlds that will be colonizable. That always irritates me. There we go. The Washington only has 13% of its fuel left. Oh, really? Huh. Okay, what we're going to do then is have you cancel all orders. There we go. We're going to go to Earth. Earth here, select the Stig, aka the Togo class tug. I'm going to go to orders, we're going to select task groups over here. We are going to select the exploration. And we're going to tractor the GSF Washington. So we'll have some auto turns tick by just so we can watch the transit. And wow, you can see how fast that tug is at 4,615 kilometers per second. It's bloody fast. So it shouldn't take too long at all to get out there. And then at least we can start pulling the system back. Well, I said system, I meant the ship. We actually... doesn't seem to be progressing for some reason. Okay. There we go. So completed orders. Right, the Proxima decided that this is not an actual jump point. Right. We completed research into the size 10. So now see, this has the Washington over here as well. So we're going to tow that back to Earth. I love this tug, it's really helpful. It's bloody fast as well. It has a hell of a lot of engine power. I mean, how heavy is the Togo? The Togo is a 32,000 ton vessel, so it's hauling the Washington, which is only 2,450 tons. It's a very light ship. It's a very old ship as well, still using commercial nuclear thermal technology. I might look at overhauling it with new engines in the future. Yeah, you just look at that range. That's an old range. Only 75 power. I could very much do with probably overhauling it. So we'll take a look at its design actually. Right, it is a Zambia. Is it the Zambia Mark 1? Yeah. Yeah, it literally is the first class. Amazing. So we're going to copy the design. We're going to rename it as the... well... might as well go with the Zambia Mark 5, I guess. MK 5. This would be a good chance for us to design our future geo-survey ships as well, so that's something to take into account. Now we do have shipyards that can create much larger ships, so that's fantastic. We also have the New York classes. Did I call them New York classes? What did I actually call them? I forgot what I called them now. What did I call them? Oh, the Zambia Mark 4s, yeah, that's right. Right, so the Zambia Mark 4s, so basically the New York, the Berlin, and the Proxima are of that class. They are technically classed as military ships due to the fact they have a geosensor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this as a, well, a gravity sensor, that's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this ship as a pure geo ship. So what we're going to do then is mount the required sensors. Right, passive sensors. I'm going to mount some more geosensors. They'll do things a hell of a lot faster. So we could mount 5. It's never going to be able to be overhauled to this. So, well. Remove that. I might have it as its own sort of jump-capable ship. I should really start prefabricating some jump engines due to the fact that they take some time. Do I want to add a jump engine to this? I suppose it wouldn't give it a lot of utility, but it would push this weight up and the cost up quite considerably. So we'll not do that then. We'll rely on the other jump capable ships to ferry it around. So we're going to add a commercial ship engine over here. So you can see here we've added something with 400 power. Now this thing could really book it, which is something I do like. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to have a huge amount of power. And again, maybe 9,300 tons, bring it up to 10,000 tons. Yes, well, we're going to have to bring it to 10,000 tons so it can actually pass through portals generated by the military ships. Well, jump points. Jump gates? Wormholes? I'm going to go with wormholes. Yes, and as it's commercial class, well, classes of commercial, it doesn't particularly need any maintenance at all, so that's great. So we're going to have some large fuel on here. Well, there we go, we'll remove one of them. Just add some more fuel storage. There we go. 60 deployment time, fantastic. So, this ship would have a range of 128.2 billion kilometers. It moves like the clappers, 4,000 exactly, that's lovely. It can really Really get the survey points in. Really, we bring these ships into the system, and they're gonna do that shit. I wonder if is it automatically classed as a military ship if it has a missile launch? Because I would love to be able to equip it with my. Yeah, okay, that's a shame. I was thinking about equipping it with the geosatellite missiles. Well, yeah, rockets, but I guess that's not possible then. Fair enough, fair enough. If I equipped it with active sensors, would that make it a military? It would. How unfortunate. Ah, well. We'll do that then. Do I really want 2 engines on it? It would be a lot lighter. It would get more range. I mean, it already moves really quickly. I mean, I could put some cryogenic transport on it. I mean, you might think, like, why would you do something like that? But it could act... I might actually put a tractor beam on, you know? They are really handy to have. And it would allow me in the future, if I needed to, haul some things around. A harvester miner could be doable, so that at least it'd be able to refuel itself out in the field, but it's not needed. Right, it has conventional armor. God damn. So get rid of those. And now we're going to put the new armor on. So keep watching this. We're at 7,750 tons. The new armor brings us down by 400 tons. And just makes the ship a hell of a lot tougher. Which is fantastic. Really, really nice. Okay. Can we have the passive sensors? No. Unfortunate. Okay. Let's take a look. I mean, for only 150 tons less, I mean, it would be able to take other ships with it into... I'm going to call it warp. Let's make this 40k. If I remove some fuel storage. There we go. It would get 140 billion kilometer range. It would be capable of jump. But I have other ships for that, so I'll make it a lighter ship. And then we might add some more fuel storage. Really get that range up. Yeah, lower it to about... And then again, do we want to put 1.5 million litres into a ship like this, when it could just come back and refuel every now and then? So we'll remove some of this fuel. Okay. Could put it 1 million litres. That does lower its speed, so we'll probably put another engine on. No, no, I must resist, I must be strong. 265 million, well, billion kilometers is pretty nice. Yeah, so 750,000 litres is pretty much the sweet spot. We get a lot of range. We are very capable of scanning a system in a really quick time. 5.36 years? Are you kidding me? Nah, that can't be 5.36 years. Seriously, if it is, that's ridiculous. It's only a 7,200 ton vessel. It's not that big. Okay. We're going to make it a very long deployment time of 240 months. It brings up the weight quite nicely. It's 145 crew, but it's going to be quite good. I might add some armor. Okay. Yeah, if we add some armor, it reduces range by about 10 billion kilometers each layer of armor. But if we have it at 4, it's going to have no problems navigating any nebulas. And it would also have some defensive capabilities. Well, it'd be able to survive, is what I'm saying. But I think 4's fine. 4 allows us to navigate, like, things that would slow it down or possibly damage it. So that'll do nicely. Right, we do have an engineer in space on here. There's 1,639 build points. That's quite impressive. Bugger it. It's got the high density uranium armor. 10 survey points per hour. Is that really needed? I might get rid of 5. It brings the the tonnage down quite nicely. Increases range, increases everything basically, besides the scanning points. But 5 per hour is about 5 times faster than what we're doing already. So that's a remarkable improvement as is. So we're going to go with that. We're going to call that the Zambia Mark 5. Okay. Now, could our shipyard build that? Well, it can't build it right now. Oh, we have another shipyard here. Well, military shipyard. So we're going to give it orders to basically increase its capacity. So that'll be done 26th of December 2071. 2071? What? Why? Why is that taking so much? That's weird. I suppose it does take a long time, but goddamn. That's a really long time. Okay. We could also do with building some more maintenance facilities over Earth. Yeah. It would help us out. Well, I suppose that's what we'll have to make do with. The marathon's almost built anyway. Okay. So the Washington will be dragged back to Earth, kicking and screaming. How are we doing with research? We have 10 labs available. That should be finished in the month. Let's take a look at some other things. So we could start researching the hangar deck, which could be quite interesting. But I think what we're going to do is get the flag bridge first. So we're going to create that research project. And then we're going to take a look at missiles / kinetics. And we're going to take a look at the missile feeder efficiency system. Basically how well it can store things. Yeah, the amount of space and storage. So we're going to queue that. Which would be a very nice project for us to have. I mean, we have a 400 capacity magazine over here. But that's quite a large thing. Very large. Speaking of missiles, I think I might redesign mine. Now, 6 damage is pretty decent. I want something that's very quick. Okay, so if we take a look at 1 agility. 0.9. I believe size 6 is the smallest. Right, it's not going to do too much there, is it? I think it's the fuel capacity. Well, we might have to redesign a completely new engine for that sort of thing. Something that's going to be very, very fast. So we'll go over to the design board. We'll go to missile engines, well, magnetoplasma drive technology. We're going to make it double the engine power. As large an engine as we can. Alright, actually, how much would that? Okay, 5. We'll bump that down to... I mean, at 4, it's not too bad. It's going to use a lot of fuel. We'll have this as basically an experiment then. An experiment into maximum engine power. And see what that could possibly create for us. Right, so we'll create that project and we'll look at that in the future. Okay, so we are researching all ahead. Fantastic. This should be done in February, so a few months. Not bad at all. I still need to redesign the Hoplon. I might make it a lot lighter actually. Less armor or... yeah, I don't know, it really depends. Okie dokie. Right, the stick has completed orders, and it's dragged the Washington back to Earth. So we'll go to the sticks. And we're going to have to make a new task group, I imagine. Well, what we can do is basically have the stick attached... No, sorry, the Washington attached to the Berlin. So we have the Berlin ESP. We're going to attach the Washington in here. Lovely. So we're going to give orders to refuel. So refuel from a colony. There's not much fuel here. Well, considering the Zambia only has a very limited amount of fuel. There's a big difference. Right, so we'll go back to our people. Oops. Go back to our people over here. Teams and academy. Go to geology. Now the team is still in orbit. So I guess we'll have to put them down on the planet. Oops, I'm pressing all the wrong things here. So we'll go to the Berlin, and we'll have them drop off the team. Oops, not on the Proxima Centauri jump point. Drop off the team. There you go. Okay. The Proxima is still searching. I'm hoping once we have our composite armor, that we should be able to do some more. Yeah, more things with armor. It'll be lighter, slightly lighter, but a lot stronger. So that's something that we need to take into consideration in the future for PDCs and military ships in general. Right, so we'll select the... Actually, no, we need to go back. We need to go deeper into the dream. Go to Teams and Academy. Geology. Okay, here we go. So, Carl is still in here apparently, but I'm going to retire Carl. So, thank you for serving us faithfully, Carl. Well, I'm going to disband the team. Well, there we go. Now these people... Ah, right, okay. Geology. So we're going to take the ministers. Vice-Chancellor. We don't really have a very good geology team, I'm going to be honest. It's not the best. But we'll create it anyway. 5 officers? How many have I selected there? Ah, I've selected 6 by state. 105 is not very good, but it should be fine for now. So we're going to have the Natasha Williamson geology team. Okay. The Berlin. Earth. Pick up the team. I would be tempted to take a xenologist team with me, but we haven't discovered any alien ruins. So once we pick them up, we're going to proceed to the Ross 128 jump point. We're going to squadron transit. And yeah, that'd be great. Then I guess we can go to Ron 128A1. We'll move to 128A1. Great. We are fully refueled and everything, so that's fine. So we'll issue those orders. You can issue some really nice orders. I mean, it doesn't seem that complex, and the AI has sometimes a problem following them. But, I mean, you can really queue these orders up, and it's amazing the sort of things that you can tell them to do, like head from this star system to another. It's just incredible. I do apologise if I'm talking really quietly, actually. I am a lot closer to the microphone than I usually am, so I shouldn't have to talk too loud. Right, so the Birmingham has completed orders. Now, they should be in Ross 128. Yes, they are. Fantastic. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So we now have 2 ships in the system. So what we can do, then, is we can split the Washington off. Well, we're going to make a new task group. We'll call this task group... Well, I'll call it VGO. Let's call it Washington... Geo. There we go. No, location is Seoul for some reason. Right. Berlin. Go to split the task group. Put the Washington here. rename the task group to Washington ESP. Lovely. So now, yep, I'm selected on the Washington. I'm going to issue orders to scan Vinny's planet or moon. I'm going to issue some orders as well. Right. Here somewhere. Right, hostile ships in system. There's a thing, yeah, change to maximum speed. Right then. If your primary orders don't work anymore, scan asteroids. Lovely. So who has the team? They use quite